I'm hoping to miss it.
Once again, are leading to the same temperature estimate for the end of the century, something around 2.7 degrees. So not a lot has changed, one could say, and this is what we also highlight. There's not enough, the curve is not going down. However, we do highlight that there have been developments in renewable energy. At the same time, there's still been very high developments and like investments in fossil fuel industry in general. This is driven highly by China. So China has set up a set of targets, not just one absolute emission reduction target. And so we have to translate all of them into emission level. And in this case, the one that's driving emissions up is their peaking target. Because although we expect that emissions will peak very soon or have already peaked, they are peaking at a much higher level than what we had anticipated before. And so this drives that peaking level significantly higher, and that is defining the upper range of this scenario.
I think it's definitely so for the US. It's going backwards. Impact might not be big in the short run, could get big in the long run if it continues. For China, quite a mixed picture, right? Even though our estimate of the effects of policies is influenced very much by China peaking higher than we thought, we do think it's going to peak. And we do see the massive growth of renewables and renewable energy, electric vehicles, also industrial efficiency, decarbonisation, beginning to bite in China. So we think their emissions are going to drop, right? Climate disasters we've observed, whether it's the massive floods in Nepal that killed hundreds of people, or whether it's the floods in Valencia, Spain, that just killed hundreds of people, the political system, politicians are not reacting. And I think that's something that people everywhere should be worried about. So here we are seeing these massive climate disasters beginning to break out, and there's no action from the political leaders of governments. And just personally, sitting here at this COP, hearing this presidency talk about gas and oil as being something delivered by God, as though they have an ongoing right to emit it forever, is a travesty of this process. This is now the 29th COP. And it's way beyond time for this kind of talk to end. It's the only place where the vulnerable countries, small countries, can be eye to eye with big countries. It's the only place where, Grenada can sit across the table from China or the US, for example. So it matters in that way. And there's an awful lot going on that's positive here. But on the big picture of actually getting stuff done to reduce emissions and ambition, to me it feels broken, I think. And it's reflected in the very fact that we have petrostate after petrostate running this process. So this is something that governments could change if they had the will to. They could.